In this lesson, we're going to explore the use of various reports. And for the purpose of this specific lesson, we're going to look at a report called the price per opening report. This is a report that allows a user to take a job and print out a listing of the cost, the sell price of the components per opening. So let's begin. The first thing we want to do is ensure that our printer session is open, and I have opened up my printer session, and FPPRT is my printer session and it's ready. So I'm just going to minimize it down to the bottom of my tray, and I will go into the estimating system menu, and on the estimating system menu, we want to take option 3, which is print the price per opening report. So I'll take option 3 and hit the enter key. And the next screen, it's going to ask me for the estimate of the job number. And let me just go ahead and put in a job number. And I'm going to field exit to write justify it, and then hit the enter key. Now, usually, depending on the size of the job, this screen will kick over in a few seconds. This is a pretty big job, so it takes a little longer to do. So you'll notice down at the bottom of the screen it has the X, and it says system. So it's processing the request. And once it finishes the request, it will take you back to the estimating menu screen. Okay. Now to look for that report, my printer session is configured so that it goes, rather than print a report, it's going to print up on my desktop. So let me just minimize the AS400, and we'll see here that actually it prints two reports. So, and those reports are not assigned to a particular program, so we want to open it up in Notepad. So I click on Notepad, and the first part of the report is the summary of the job. And if when you are displaying a Notepad report on your desktop for the first time, if you go to the format and the font should be regular, either size 10 or size 9, and it'll display exactly the way you see it on my screen. Now, in order to associate it to a file, what I try to do is I go to File and I say Save As, and I'm going to save it on my desktop, but you could save it to a job file or whatever, and let's call it Job Summary. And it's going to save it as a text doc. And you'll notice here it's Job Summary under Notepad. And let me just go ahead and close it, and you'll see that there it is down at the bottom here, Job Summary for Notepad. There it is, and I'll take the original one and I'll delete it because I don't need it anymore. And let's open up the price per opening report. I'll go to Notepad, open it up, and there is my report. Now, as you'll see, it gives you the date, the bid number, the job name. Here it shows you the opening number. It gives you the frame, and let me just modify this slightly so we can see this. Okay, this is better. All right, so it shows you here is the opening, J-A101L. It gives you the frame, the material, the width by the height, the quantity, the list price, the cost, and the net. Now on this particular one, our opening J101 is a storefront, so it has nothing. So I'll just go ahead and scroll down and find one that reflects what we're looking for material supplying. Okay, opening K-B201. The frame is hollow metal, the door is wood, the hardware set is R-02. The list price for the frame is $375. The cost is $187.50. The door is $21.74 is the list price, $1,087. These are style and rail doors, and that's why they're so pricey. Wood finishing, and the hardware set is $457.61 as the cost. And then you'll see here that it totals the list price, the cost, and the net is the actual based on the markup that you have on the job or the selling price that you sold it for. So the value, the net value of K-201, B201 as a sell price is $24.54.03. Now you can scroll down the job and it automatically shows you by opening number the value of that opening. Now this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is a very neat tool so that whenever you're pricing change orders on the job and you want to look at the values, the cost values and the sell price values of specific openings, that you can just run this report, print it to your desktop, and look at it so you can determine what the value is of each individual openings. Now to try to condense the information, we don't show tremendous amount of detail on these specific openings because you can always go back and look at them in more detail in the job. So as a report, we really wanted to have a very simple summary that shows you exactly what the values of individual openings are. Now this is good when you're bidding work and you're negotiating and they want to know the value. You know, contractors always want to, what is this worth? What is that worth? This is a great tool that you can use to determine the values of the openings. I think that's pretty much does what it is. Now, also something else that you can do here in Notepad is we can delete, highlight, and delete openings that we want to see, and by hitting the delete key it just wipes it out. So you can do editing right on the screen of your report for any information that you don't want to print in that report. The other thing that I might want to show you here, last but not least, and I'm scrolling all the way down, is that there is a value. There's a total value of all the openings. Down here at the bottom is a total value of everything on the job. So we have a cost, we're showing a cost here of $636,777 and a sell price of $964,832. So that's a nice little tool to know what the value is on this job. And that concludes our session.